Hello, this is starting your research slides presentation, not how to do one on slides. So, how to start a research project? Well, find a topic that interests you. So it could be your hobby, it could be something that you're working on, just something that you are going to be able to write a lot of information about and be interested in learning more about. Now, in school, you're not always going to have the opportunity to choose your own research project. So that can be a little bit hard. So if your professor gives you a topic that you're not really interested in, maybe you can just simply do a Google search and just find at least one thing that maybe interests you and find pretty cool about. And that is something that you can use and put into your research project. That is going to be your starting point. And then you want to also use the rhetorical situation, which is your audience, your purpose, your genre, your stance, your context, your media, and your design. These are all things that are going to help you with your research project. Another thing is narrow your topic. So you found something in the research that you're passionate about, that you like. If it's something, not your professor gave you a topic that you're not, too excited about, but you found something that was pretty cool and you're going to go with it. Well, let's narrow it down a little bit. So climate change. Climate change is a pretty broad subject. There's a lot of stuff that falls under climate change. So what the book said, and I have referenced down here, is women in sports. And it goes down and it gets narrower and narrower until even narrower, where it says patterns of injuries among collegiate women and there's my little box is in the way. Players compared with their male counterparts. So that's narrow, but we could go even more and say, let me look at a Pacific college and compare those basketball men and women. So do some background research. So look back maybe on going back to the reference of the basketball players, maybe look at that college, like if you want to go into a Pacific college looking into that and say, okay, let me see if anyone has written about that. Done some more research um, to kind of get their opinion and see what other people have said about it. So kind of looking around and see what people have said about what you're wanting to write about. And then articulate a question your research will answer. So you don't want it to be a no or a yes question. You want your question to be able to be answered with like sentences and full elaboration. You don't want to have someone sitting there and saying, yeah, or no. You want them to be able to give you an answer, or you want to be able to give an answer, not just those yes or no answers. So plot out a working thesis as well. You want your audience to be drawn and want to read your research project. You want your reader to be like, oh, that's really interesting. I want to learn more. So getting that really good attention grabber is going to be very key. And now schedule of when things are due to keep on track. So life is busy, let me tell you. Life is crazy, there's lots of things going on. And so keeping a schedule on like a Google Doc or your phone notes pad, creating some type of way to keep track of when things are due. So if your professor has a doc of when things are going to be due, maybe write that somewhere or print it out or something and make a little check mark so you can remember, oh yeah, that's due, I need to work on that. Or if your professor doesn't have a layout of how he or she wants you to kind of like get your way to the final product, maybe make one for yourself. So you're not doing it literally the night before, which you're just going to be stressed, it's not going to be good, and you're just not going to be happy and get a good grade on it. So finding sources. Finding sources can be a little difficult sometimes. So simply do a Google search. Simply just type in what you're thinking about and see what comes up. So make sure it's credible. So making sure that your sources are authentic and literally are what they're saying is correct. I personally don't like Wikipedia. I've always been taught never to use Wikipedia. You know, it's a lot of extra work that sometimes you just don't have time for to see if what people are saying is correct. So I like to go for like government sites, news articles, or websites that I know have authentic information on it. So just really taking the time to make sure that, which this can go into the next statement too, or bullet point, is making sure what you're reading also can be found somewhere else. So compare two documents, and if they're saying the same thing, then you can tell that that is going to be clear and that is going to be right information for your research project. So what are some good sources? So in the book, these are some sources that were listed. So you can see there's books, there's journal articles, there's online sources. So you have a ton of resources you can go to, which are going to help you in the long run.